Hey folks. So it's Tuesday, March 16th, and this is your daily forecast. This is actually our last day analyzing videos and having that sort of practice. So that's good, right? You might want to read the questions in task 2 first that are really kind of reminding you of the main talking points for the piece that we read on portraying elderly people. And then, pick at least 2 of the videos up here and just go ahead and watch them. Um, so once you do, and as you're obviously watching those videos, go ahead and take some notes for whatever it is that you want to go ahead and write. And then, head over to Slack and check out my reflection on whatever I'm going to analyze. Remember, it's a model to help you understand, one, how to give the director's agency, like that you're focusing specifically on what they're doing, and then how to apply a secondary source to sort of analyze what you're seeing instead of just summarizing what you're seeing. Okay, so there's that. Write down your thoughts, obviously share that in a 1 to 2 paragraph reflection and post that to Slack. And then from there, just take part in a discussion. I just want you to meaningfully respond to at least 2 of your peers' reflections, okay? So for homework, the first thing is super, super important. I want you to select the video, or I would say probably just video, not videos, that you want to analyze for assignment 3. If you're picking a short film, that's cool. I think that that's perfectly fine. What I want you to do and remember is just to kind of watch that film, that short film, over and over and over again. And if there are no words to it, I want you to, after you do some of the reading for homework, I want you to really pay attention to screenshots and get used to pausing the video and taking screenshots. I think that screenshots are really going to be important moving forward for everybody, but just kind of keep that in mind. If you are someone who wants to do analyze part of a longer movie, I would, one, recommend, certainly playing the clip that I included at least 2 or 3 times. But I think it's not a bad idea just to kind of watch that twice. But then to watch the longer movie, because as you can kind of tell, I sort of fast forwarded through parts of the movie and so forth. So I think that you might be able to kind of offer an extended analysis if you were to watch the longer bits, okay? And that becomes particularly important too, because I know some people have wanted to watch Wreck-It Ralph, which is super cool, totally do that. But the clip that I have is super duper short, and I think that having a little bit more of that would be much more helpful. Same thing too if you're thinking about doing a series, so if you're thinking about doing She-Ra or Keep on the Age of Wonder Beasts, those types of things, or Steven Universe, there are a few series, it's just not a bad idea to be yeah, I'm just going to jam and start watching this series. And if people are like, hey, what are you doing? Be like, homework, right? So just sort of keep that in mind. So really think about what you want to analyze and then kind of start getting ready for that deep dive. The next thing I want you to do is just kind of read, skim, and I do mean with emphasis on skim, the following 3 chapters from Blazer's storytelling. In particular, I think that chapter 2 is just really skimmable, but I really want you to sort of look for quotable quotes in chapter 3 and 7. And I want you to keep in mind that the reason that you're reading this is to kind of understand that there is an art to how directors design frames. What you're seeing on the screen is very, very intentional, but also how they're building worlds and so forth. I mean, there's a little bit about storytelling, which is cool, but that I think is just kind of nice to know. But I think the key thing that I want you to think about are some of the things that maybe you didn't notice before about shot composition that are going to become really, really important, or how they're building the sort of the logic of the world that you're looking at. All right. So I feel there's going to be probably more goodies in chapters 3 and 7. But again, you're just sort of skimming these. They're not hard to read. All right. So, and I would just kind of like maybe highlight and copy paste cool quotes into a document and like make page references just for future you, because you might want to like cite Blazor in your last paper. And then obviously too, you're going to need to include an annotated bibliography reference for Blazor in your annotated bibliography for assignment 2. Okay, so what we're doing here is not only going to help you complete assignment 2, but it's also going to help you complete assignment 3. So the reason why I'm having you read this is to give you an additional lens. So the academic article helps you understand the sort of like socio-political context and consequences of like storytelling around marginalized groups. But the Blazor piece is like helping you like understand like another layer of the rhetorical choices that the directors are making in terms of like sound, in terms of shot composition, in terms of designing worlds, in terms of illustrating characters. Okay, so there's that. And you'll note here it says rewatch the films that you've chosen to analyze. So once you've read those Blazor things, I would watch, you know, the film or film clip that you are looking you're gonna analyze, and then just kind of take some notes specifically on the connections that you're seeing between what Blazor's talking about in terms of like the choices the directors make and the film that you've chosen to analyze, because your annotated bibliography entry is going to want to be specific. It's not like, oh, in general, this is what Blazor says, but like, here's how I see what Blazor's doing as like being really connected to what I'm seeing happening in this film. Okay? So that's it. Also, if you hear pounding, just ignore that. I'm getting my roof done. Storm damage, super fun. Okay, so let's do this.